This video is for a crash course on how to edit audio in Davinci Resolve. But first, let's just give you 3 reminders. When you are recording, make sure you use high quality and a lossless format. So this is a good standard to follow, whether you are using your professional audio recorder or anything else. This is when you are recording the interview. When you want to export it from Davinci Resolve at the end to upload it to SoundCloud or to another podcasting service, you want to use something standard that works online and something that is light, so medium quality. Does not have to be high quality like the recording. The recording should be lossless. You should know what that means. Review if you don't. Review the readings. While the output can be lossy, so you can use an MP3 format for the output while using a WAV format for the recording and archiving. This is a good, relatively high quality output. If you're worried that your audience will have slow internet, maybe use a lower standard. The second reminder is to monitor your sound levels. Make sure you remember the rule of thumbs. Your range, this is where most of your audio should be, somewhere between -15 and -10, maybe even -5 is fine. Peaking at -2 decibels. Do not let it go above 0 decibels unless it's something majorly loud, like for a fraction of a second, but not just hovering there. That will cause distortion and clipping. And finally, a final reminder about recording applications on your phone. If you insist on using your phone, although again my advice is borrow these free equipment that you can get from the university, professional audio recording equipment, Zoom and others. If you insist on using your phone or you have an emergency and that's the only way you can do it, make sure you download a good audio recorder. Here are 3 that I recommended. So all of these are for iPhones. I think the first 2 also work on Androids. I'm not sure, double check. Voice Record is the best. Here's the icon for it. All of these are free, by the way. There are even, if you're willing to pay a little bit, there are ones that are better. The advantage of using these, you can control what quality, what format you record in. You can see and monitor the audio levels, and it allows you to plug in a microphone and a headphone to monitor the sound while you are recording, as opposed to the standard default application. Okay, let's start. Assuming that we already recorded, it is extremely important in audio and later on in video, even more important, to organize my files. So these are my audio files. I have my interviews in one folder. I have my narration in one folder. I'm not going to be using narration for this exercise. This is just sound bites and natural sound. And I have my natural sound in one folder. Now I'm going to be opening Davinci Resolve. Again, Davinci Resolve is a free software now. You can download it and use it at home on your laptop. The first thing I want to do is I want to go to this music note, the Fairlight page in audio in Davinci Resolve. We're not going to be editing video today, just audio. So you can see all the environment here. I'm going to be importing first file, import media. I will first import only my interview. So again, file, import media. Here's my interview. I will be importing this one. If you don't see it, make sure your media pool is open. Your media pool is up here on the right left corner. Make sure it's open, and here's the file. Because I don't have a timeline here, the easiest thing to open a timeline is to simply grab the file and drop it in this area, and you can see your audio file. You can move it around. You can play it using these
Ask you
keys.
about what you do during the quarantine.
This is an interview that I had with my daughter during COVID. I can use the edges to cut out the extremities, both from left and right. I can use the scissors tool to split. Let's say I want to split here.
EMESA.
During the quarantine, what's your daily routine for studying?
Let's say I want to split here. If I just put the needle here and I click the scissors, you can see now I have two files. If I don't want this file, I can just simply select it and hit backspace or delete on my keyboard and it's gone. Now you can see the waves here, but they're pretty small. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this, actually I should have put this one on audio 1, not audio 2. I'm going to make this a little bit thicker by grabbing this edge, and now you can see the sound waves. This line controls the volume level for this clip. I can increase it by simply dragging it up or decrease it by dragging it down. And you can see the sound waves. If you increase it too much, you see the sound waves touching the red line up here, going outside of the extremities of the sound range. This is called clipping. This is called distortion. And you can hear it.
I try
You can see the red, it's peaking too much in the red. That's a problem. This is not how my sound waves should look like. It would be great to have them something like this, where you have the full range. And my sound waves should not look like this. This is way too low. So if you are recording something like this and your sound waves are too low, you will be forced to increase the volume, but that's not ideal. Increase the levels on the microphone or increase your voice. Remember the rule of thumb, when you're recording, it's as if you're talking to somebody 10 meters away. All right, so let's start cutting. I need to cut 3 sound bites.
Usually classes start at 9, but now during Ramadan they started an hour later, so we're starting at 10.
Let's say this is my first sound bite. Now I can hit the scissors here and it'll split, but I'm not sure if it's going to capture a little bit from the next word or not. So I'm going to just zoom in a little bit using this tool here. I'll zoom in a tiny bit and you can see the gap in sound after her last word.
At 10.
See, all of this can be split here. Hit split. Automatically it'll go back to the default tool. If I separate this, zoom back out, I have a soundbite.
Usually classes start at 9, but now during Ramadan they started an hour later, so we're starting at 10.
This is my first soundbite. If I want to take out the at the beginning, and you can actually visually see that here. Editing is a very detail-oriented activity, so make sure you spend time on it.
Usually.
A little bit more.
Usually.
A little bit, tiny little bit more. The more you zoom in, the more accurate you can be.
Usually.
That's better. Zoom out. So I'll cut 2 more sound bites.
I try to get my workout in before class starts.
Just want this. We're not going to be focusing too much on content today. We're just focusing on the technicality of it. But when you do the work, make sure you focus on content, build a story, beginning, middle, and end. Make sure your news angle starts with the first soundbite, and then you have an ending with the last soundbite.
I try to get my workout in before class starts.
All right, so that's my second soundbite. Let's just take one from here.
In the evening after school finishes.
So what kind of workouts do you do?
I depends on the day, but I have running days and strength days. So on the running days, it's usually interval running days and strength days. So
this is gonna be tough because the words are very close to each other. So I'm gonna zoom in.
Strength days.
You can see it here. That's one. I'll delete everything after it. Remember, in your report, I don't want your questions in the sound bites, okay? Those are not, I don't want your narration. This first exercise, the first assignment, is without narration.
Depends on the day, but it depends on...
Here, it's good here. I won't need to use the scissors. I can just move the whole thing from here. Okay, and now I have 3 sound bites. Now I can even clean it further. I can listen to the whole 3 sound bites together. I don't really care right now how far they are from each other because I'm going to be adding natural sound.
Usually classes start at 9, but now during Ramadan they started an hour later, so we're starting at 10. I try to get my workout in before class starts. It depends on the day, but I have running days and strength days.
All right, so now let's go and get some natural sound. Again, File, Import, Media. I have my natural sound folder here. I'm just going to import all of them. Select them all, hit open, and here they are. So let's see. What do we have here? This is I don't want online lecture.
Is there?
All right. Since this is a home environment, let's put some home sounds here. I'll just put it on audio 2 track, both of these. Here we go. Maybe I'll start with it. Let me listen to it on its own first. I'll also make this a bit bigger. Okay, that's not a bad sound to start your audio with. Maybe I'll trim. Let me zoom it in for a little bit further. Trim this first bit here. Start with this sound. Maybe move this. You can see the wave. I don't want the words to overlap with this loud sound here, so maybe I'll move it a little bit after it, right here. And let's see what happens.
Usually classes start at 9.
So obviously the sound, the natural sound is pretty loud, and I want my sound bites to be definitely clear and loud and the words heard clearly. So 2 things I can do. I can increase, of course, the sound bite level, and we already showed you how to do that. I already showed you how to do that. Or I can lower the natural sound, but I don't want to lower it throughout this clip. I just want to lower it where the words are spoken, right under the natural the sound bite. So what I'm going to do is on my keyboard, I'm going to push Option. This is a Mac. I think on PCs you push Control, if I'm not mistaken, or one other button. You can see the plus. If you can see the plus sign here. So this is called a keyframe. If I put 2 keyframes here, 1, 2, you can see these small dots right here. And I grab the line now, and you will see that it will only lower the volume after these keyframes. And these 2 keyframes, it will gradually lower them down. So I want to use here the X principle when it comes to mixing audio. I don't want suddenly the natural sound to disappear. I want it to stay in the background, but I don't want it to be that loud. In fact, I'm going to increase it before the sound bite. And let's see how it works.
Usually classes start at...
Maybe a tiny bit lower. Here we go.
Usually classes start at...
That's good. That's good. I can hear the words immediately mixing into the natural sound. And right here, I can maybe end it somewhere around here, I would say. And then introduce the second natural sound. Let's zoom out, put it in here. It's best to have natural sound throughout my audio report, but definitely lower it when somebody is talking, when the soundbite is working. So the natural sound should be throughout, but not in an annoying way. I mean, I don't want just noise there. I want something meaningful.
Started an hour later, so we're starting at 10.
So maybe a little bit further. we go. If this reaches here, that's great. Let's see how it works.
Starting at 10.
No, I don't want that bump inside that silence after she speaks. I want this wave, this sound right here to hit immediately after her last word.
So we're starting at 10.
That's good. I'll move the soundbite a little bit up to come right after that last knock.
I try to get...
So this, if this actually happens to be right around this gap, that would be great. If not, I'll just need to also add a keyframe again. I can do it here, lower. And then what I do is I add another keyframe here. And that's only one. And bring it up after the soundbite.
I try to get my workout in before class starts.
I need to increase this more. It's clipping here, so I need to be careful. It's a loud sound. Usually. Okay, that's good. I'll have the words start immediately after the natural sound ends.
It depends on the day, but I have running days and strength days.
That's too loud, so I'm gonna bring this again down here. 2 keyframes. And then 2 keyframes here after her last soundbite. Bring this down significantly because it's pretty loud.
I have running days and strength days.
And this is where I'm going to end my report. I'll bring this up a little bit.
Days and strength days.
And I can add another couple of keyframes here and fade my sound out at the end. So it naturally and gradually goes out. I don't need it to be this long, so this is good. Maybe even further. If you move this dot all the way down to the end, it'll just fade it out completely. All right, let's listen to the whole thing. And then after you do that, what you usually do is you spend another few minutes adjusting, making sure it's perfectly edited.
Usually classes start at 9, but now during Ramadan they started an hour later, so we're starting at 10. I try to get my workout in before class starts. It depends on the day, but I have running days and strength days.
All right, let's assume I'm done and I monitored my levels here. If you notice, I didn't have any clipping at all.
I try to get my workout in.
So what I'm going to do now, first I need to save this project. I should have done that actually earlier. Save project, make sure you save it actually in the same folder you put your files so that you don't lose them. And then I'm going to export, but I'm not going to export here. Do not use this export. There's an easier way to do it. If you notice here, there's an icon that says deliver, and right next to the Fairlight option. Go there, and here's your audio report. So something very important, you have video, you have audio. I do not have video, so I am going to uncheck the video. Next module, when we start doing editing video, we will need to keep that. I'm going to uncheck the video. I'm going to go to audio. The default is QuickTime. I do not want QuickTime. I want MP3, which is the standard for the universal standard for audio on the internet now. Now, if you want higher quality, you can do that. I think SoundCloud will accommodate multiple formats, even high quality, but let's stick to MP3 for now. MP3, you can change the data rate here. You can change the settings. I'm going to leave it as default. Make sure to keep it as stereo. And once you do that, add to render queue. Add to render queue. You will see it appear Downline MP3. Sorry, what was that? Maybe we didn't. It will. Oh, sorry. We need to give it a name. Let's say audio report 1. Browse. I'm gonna put it in the same folder as the one I put the audio files. Here we go. Davinci exercise, audio files. I'll keep it out here. And add to render. It's right. It appears right here. So I totally forgot this step. You can see it here. All you have to do now is click render all. Done. If it was a longer video with a lot of effects and options, it will take longer. But if you go to that same folder, audio files, you'll see it's right here. And it's one file. It's 1 megabyte.
Usually classes start at 9, but now during Ramadan they started an hour later, so we're starting at 10. I try to get my workout in before class starts. It depends on the day, but I have running days and strength days.
All right, that's my audio report. Now I'm going to take it to SoundCloud. So in SoundCloud, I need to, if you don't have an account, of course, you have to open an account. You can log in via your email or your Facebook or whatever. Once you're inside, you need to upload. So I'm going to go to that audio file, the MP3. Remember to upload the MP3, not the actual project file. So I'll grab it. And drop it here. Fill up all these details about it. Make sure it says public and not private, otherwise I won't be able to see it when you post it. And upload. Okay, it seems to have uploaded. View track, and here it is.
Usually classes start at 9, but now during Ramadan they started an hour later, so we're starting at 10.
Okay, so this is my report. What I need to do is now share it. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the share button here. All you have to do is copy this link. You can clip it if you want to start at a certain time, or you can shorten the link. Doesn't matter. Let's shorten the link anyway. Let's copy this. I'm just gonna hit Command C to copy it on my keyboard. And I'm going to go to Medium now. So let's assume you created your story. You have your headline, you have your sub headline, and you have your text and your photos, etc. So all I have to do really is paste this link. And remember, very important, remember after this, you hit enter right after the URL, and you have the actual SoundCloud with your audio clip. Let's publish it. Publish now. This is my story. Nope. This is my story, and this is how it will appear.
Usually classes start at 9, but now during Ramadan they started an hour later, so we're starting at 10. I try to get my workout in before class starts. It depends on the day, but I have running days and strength days.
All right, then that's it. We're done.